Hello students, how are you all? Myself Mr. Shivam Dhiman and I am your SST teacher. Today I will explain the remaining part of the chapter New Kings and Kingdoms, and today's video is for class 7. So students, in the earlier video we have studied about, I have explained you the rulers, Rajput rulers and the kings of north and tripartite struggle. But in this video we will know about the foreign invaders and how the foreign invasion led to arise a foreign territory or foreign ruler to rule in India. That is slave dynasty, how the slave dynasty came in India. Now we will know the Turkish invasion. As we all know that in the previous video I have told you that Arabs wanted to rule over the India, but they were opposed by the Rajput rulers. तो अरब जो थे जिन्होंने सिंध पर अपनी विजय पाली थी, पर वे भारत में आक्रमण नहीं कर पाए थे, भारत में अपना किसी प्रकार का आधिपत्य स्थापित नहीं कर पाए थे क्योंकि राजपूत रूलर्स थे. बट the Turkish were very मतलब Turkish बहुत powerful थे, they were very powerful as well as they have lot of advanced fighting skills that helped them to invade in India. So they have their control over Persia, Khorasan, Afghanistan and as well as Ghazni, which they made their capital. Now in this invasion we will know about Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. Mahmud of Ghazni, also known as Sultan Mahmud, whose reign was in the period of 997 to 1030 Christ era. He invaded India between the time period 1000 Christ era to 1027 Christ era, and he was very ambitious, he was greedy, and he wanted to extend his empire, build it more strongful, so that he when he got to know that India is a rich country, he invaded India many a times and looted the Indian temples and all its wealth, and with its stealing the Indian goods and wealth, he also destructed the Indian temples, and which causes the ruin of Indian history. So जो महमूद गजनी था वो महमूद गजनी वो उसने भारत पर 15 बार आक्रमण किया था. जो 1025 से 1026 के बीच में जो आक्रमण था वो सबसे विनाशकारी आक्रमण था, जिस आक्रमण के बाद जो भारत था पूरी तरह भारत का इतिहास, भारत की जो संपन्नता थी बहुत प्रभावित हुई. तो महमूद ऑफ गजनी ने कई बार सोमनाथ टेम्पल, जो कि शिव का पहला ज्योतिर्लिंग और फेमस इंडियन टेम्पल है, और इस टेम्पल को जब 15वीं बार लूटा, उसको विध्वंस मतलब नष्ट किया, तो इससे बहुत गहरा मतलब आघात भारत पर पहुंचा. तो अल बरूनी जो कि पर्शियन स्कॉलर था और वो भारत आया था संस्कृत, भारतीय इतिहास के बारे में जानने के लिए, और संस्कृत लैंग्वेज उसने सीखी थी. तो इसने इसके टेक्स्ट से प्रभावित होकर ही महमूद ऑफ गजनी भारत में आया, और जो बुक थी अल बरूनी की वो थी तहकीक-ई-हिंद. नाउ मुहम्मद घोरी. तो महमूद ऑफ गजनी के बाद कोई इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग रूलर्स नहीं थे जिन्होंने भारत पर आक्रमण किया, पर उसके बाद मुहम्मद घोरी जो थे उन्होंने कई बार इन्वेड किया, एंड he ruled from 1930 Christ era to 1192 Christ era, and in which he invaded the India from northwest and captured all the countries or regions of northwest Asia, and wanted to have its full control over Central Asia, as well as he was capturing the Afghanistan. Now in 1175 Christ era he captured Multan, 1178 Christ era Gujarat, 1181 Christ era Peshawar, 1186 Christ era Sialkot in Lahore. So he has almost gained all his control over the northwest region of India. Now we will know about the first battle of Tarain and second battle of Tarain. First battle of Tarain was fought. So students, we were discussing about the battles led by Muhammad Ghori. So first battle of Tarain was led in 1191 Christ era. मीन्स पहला युद्ध तराई का 1191 ईसा के समय लड़ा गया। मुहम्मद घोरी जो कि दिल्ली को कैप्चर करना चाहता था, इंडिया पर अपना, भारत पर अपना वर्चस्व स्थापित करना चाहता था, he wanted to establish or gain his control over India, who was a very powerful, very rich state. So he fought a battle with the famous Rajput ruler of Chahmanas, that was Prithviraj Chauhan, and Prithviraj Chauhan badly defeated him, and he was injured and flee to Afghanistan. And in the following year, in the next year, second battle of Tarain was fought, that was in 1192 Christ era और 1192 ईसा के समय। तो इस युद्ध को हिस्टोरिक क्यों कहा जाता है? बिकॉज इन दिस बैटल Muhammad Ghori was got victory, and Prithviraj Chauhan, who was very powerful and famous Rajput Indian ruler, died heroic death. Okay, so he was martyred in this battle, and we remember him for his courage and power. So now we will know other conquerors like Muhammad Ghori, who was won the throne of Delhi after battling with, after martyring the Prithviraj Chauhan. He developed or gained his control over Delhi, and after returning to his own territory, he ordered his chief, who was a trusted slave, Qutubuddin Aibak, to rule over India from Delhi, and it was as well as appointed him as the general of he was appointed as the governor of India, and this was the first foreign invader of it was the first foreign invasion by any foreign ruler. Okay, now it established Turkish dynasty over India, and 1194 में क्राइस्ट एरा में मुहम्मद घोरी वापस इंडिया आया और उसने जयचंद राठौर को डिफीट किया, कन्नौज का जो रूलर था, और कन्नौज को अपने कंट्रोल में लेकर के उसने अगले ही 4 साल में अहिंदवाड़ा, बिहार, बंगाल, बुंदेलखंड को भी अपने कब्जे में ले लिया। इन 1206 क्राइस्ट एरा मुहम्मद घोरी was slain by a band of Ghakkars sorry, by a band of Khokars who were a tribe, and he was laid near Jhelum district, which is now in Pakistan. Now, real founder of Muslim power. So we can say that Muhammad Ghori, who was a Turkish ruler, was responsible for bringing Islam and Muslim power to India. Okay, so he was the ruler who brought Muslim power in India, and he also converted the people to change their religion, है ना? And it appointed Bakhtiyar Khilji in Bengal, Qutbuddin Aibak in Delhi to rule over the territories of India. Now, causes of success of Turks. क्या कारण थे कि टर्कीज जो थे वो जीत पाए और उनका वर्चस्व भारत में हुआ? तो टर्कीज वर मोर एडवांस इन टेक्नोलॉजीज, as well as they have powerful army, and they spend more money than Indian rulers over their army, as well as have powerful horses who move fast than the Indian elephants and horses. So they have good army, they have good equipments, and they have good animals which were used as a vehicle or support for traveling, as well as they have that type of bows and arrows that can travel to distant places, they can hit much far places. Okay, so this was the only reason for the power of the Turkish rulers. So this was the chapter explanation of the new kings and kingdoms that I have explained you today. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the upcoming Google class. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day, students.